Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me. My name is Bjorn. Today we're going to be looking at my Blood Knight tank. I'm not really sure what to call this, so let's go ahead and get into it. So as we can see here, this is what I have ended off with. A champion fighter level 5, a rogue level 1, and a school of necromancy wizard level 14. The rogue isn't necessarily needed here. We could go with something else. Instead of going rogue, you can go into cleric 1, and you go death domain cleric. You'll be gaining the Reaper ability, and you'll be able to use chill touch and hit 2 targets, so some nice ranged cleave possibly. I personally just went with the rogue here because I like the additional proficiency and I like the expertise. I like this. It feels like it gives me more role-playing potential. Or you can skip out on rogue and cleric and just go fighter champion level 6. That way you'll gain an extra feat if you need to get your ability scores. And speaking of ability scores, we're playing 3 different things here with our multi-class. It'll require some things. If we're going to go with a fighter, rogue, wizard, the fighter is a strength or a dexterity of 13, the rogue is a dexterity of 13, and the wizard is an intelligence of 13. So I'm leaning this character towards being a dexterity build. I plan on wearing half plate with this character, so I want to meet my strength requirement of 13. I'm also using medium armor master of this, so if you're going to go with that, aim for a 16 dexterity at a minimum. You'll get the most bang for your buck out of the half plate that eventually you'll be wearing. As for stat priority, intelligence is way more important than your dexterity in this case. Or you could just go full plate with this and ignore dexterity. That's another option you can take. I'd recommend having constitution pretty high. This is going to help you out with obviously maintaining concentration on spells. Wisdom is a pretty good dump stat. Charisma can be a good dump stat. As for the race of choice, this is completely up to you. I've decided to go with the Fallen Aasimar here, mostly because it does give me a little bit more strength, which is nice. But it also gives me charisma. It fits into, I want this character to be a bit flamboyant. I want this character to be a bit crazy, chaotic. As well, the main benefit that we do gain is this necrotic shroud, so it kind of fits into that necrotic necromancer role. Of course, for the background, this is completely up to you. I'd recommend picking something that fits your story. I went with the noble here. Small backstory of this character, you might want to go with it on your own. Because my character's super flamboyant, he was kicked out of his family. He doesn't realize this, though. He thinks it's because he was dabbling into necromancy. His family couldn't care less about that. That's kind of like the idea I'm going for with this character. But we'll see where that goes. It's up to the Dungeon Master and see where she takes it. And moving back over to the classes, we do start off with a fighter. This is mostly because of all the proficiencies we gain. All armor, all simple weapons, all martial weapons, and shields. But also we do gain the Constitution saving throw, which is another really great thing for this build. I mean, that's better concentration checks. Most of the saving throws in the game are Constitution based. And we also do gain some skill choices of our choice here. I would decide to go with Insight Intimidation. Now for fighting style, I'm going to be going with defense here. I like the extra AC. I want this character to be up in the front lines. This character is more of a hack and slash, as you'll soon see here, and having that extra AC means less damage onto me, less concentration checks I'll need to make. And yeah, the other choice, because we're going to be using a Shadow Blade, you could go possibly with dueling and increase the damage a little bit, but I just prefer defense, less damage taken onto ourselves. We of course gain second wind. That's going to be a D10 plus 5 for us. We gain action surge. Action surge is absolutely amazing ability. Essentially with this, you're going to be able to take, you're going to be able to cast a spell and then action surge cast another spell if you'd like, or go ahead and start hacking and slashing. That's a possibility you can do, or like action surge is amazing for anything. It's now as for the martial archetype here, I've decided to go with the champion. This is just so I can have improved critical. The reason why I like the improved critical with this build is because we are so hack and slash. We're going to be doing a lot of damage with our Shadow Blade with the level that we're going to be casting it at. And also this is just eternally there. It isn't something that we activate. It isn't something that's limited to a number of uses. This is just a permanent increased chance to crit. This is really nice for how few levels we're investing into fighter. Of course, you can invest maybe into Battle Master. I could see that being a decent one. Eldritch Knight might make sense, a nice transition from this pure warrior into an Eldritch Knight and focusing more into the necromancy with the wizard school. So that could be a nice little role play. As for any ASIs, I believe the ones that I use here are Prodigy, Tough, and Medium Armor Master. If you have to meet some like multi-classing requirements, go ahead and invest into the ASIs, just the straight intelligence increase, a straight strength or dexterity or constitution, whatever you feel like you're missing. Unless you rolled really well like me, then best of luck on those rolls. I don't know what else to say. And of course, at 5th level, we do gain our extra attack. Extra attack is amazing for this character, and we're only ever going to need 1 extra attack, and it's going to give us a lot of extra damage. Now, as I was mentioning earlier with the rogue, I just went with this because I wanted extra proficiencies. I decided to go with investigation and to expertise my investigation and history. All these are intelligence-based skills. The other thing that we do gain is we do gain sneak attack, and we're probably going to be able to use this quite a bit, actually, because we are going to have a lot of undead minions with us, so it's not going to be hard to gain advantage or put them in a position where you can use sneak attack. You know, it's a d6. It's not much, but it's an additional d6 that you otherwise wouldn't have been doing. Otherwise, we really didn't invest into rogue for, you know, the sneak attack. And of course, finally, we invest into the wizard. As for leveling with this, I'd recommend, obviously, you have to start with a fighter, but after any point of level 1 fighter, you could go into wizard, or you can go into rogue. I mean, it doesn't necessarily matter. It really depends on what you feel like your group needs at the time. Maybe multi-classing fighter up to level 5, then into rogue, then to wizard's the best thing for you to do. I'm in a position where I don't need to worry about that too much right now, thankfully, but it's up to you. Whatever, there's plenty of routes here that I feel like could be really good. So, you know, like, pick what you feel is best suited for you. But anyways, onto the wizard. We do gain a lot of abilities with this since we've invested 14 levels. The main one we do gain is Grim Harvest. We'll get into that in a little bit. Undead Thralls just makes your undead servants a lot fucking better. Inured to Undeath, this is a pretty neat one. This is going to make it so your health can't drop, your max health hit points can't drop. So this is actually a pretty neat little tanky effect there. And then we also gain Command Undead. This is a very, very powerful ability. Permanently control something, or, you know, never be able to control it and you just have to kill it. But I mean, very, very useful ability to have, and I wanted to keep that in there. But anyways, back onto the Grim Harvest. With this, anytime we kill something with a spell, we're able to regain hit points equal to twice that spell's level, or 3 times if it belongs to the school of Necromancy. Very powerful, self-sufficient heal that we're going to be able to do. You know, just have some communication with your group. Point this out, like, you're going to be a self-sufficient tank, but, like, you're going to be getting the killing blows, and that's what's going to make you self-sufficient. So keep that in mind. But with this, the main thing that we benefit from this is that with one of our spells that we can use here, we're going to be focusing on the Shadow Blade here, for example. So thankfully, because we're a wizard of 14, we're going to have 1 7th level spell slot. So we're going to be able to cast this at the 7th level, and it's going to be able to do 5d8 damage. So assuming that we cast this at 7th level and we kill something with it, that's going to be 14 hit points back to return to us. Now there are arguments, I've looked this up, to see if Shadow Blade can activate Grim Harvest. I've heard arguments for no, it cannot, as rules as written, and then yes, it can, rules as written. I am of the opinion that it is yes, it can, because, well, we are investing a spell into it. This is simply, in essence, a dot that we still have to roll to attack to hit. It's similar to Witch Bolt. It's similar to many other spells that are overtime effects that would still activate Grim Harvest. This is simply just a blade. This is something that, you know, I feel like, you know, it just works, right? Like, I feel like this is fine. Like, I don't see how this could be broken as opposed to, say, Fireball at a higher level or whatever other spell, because there's some very potentially dangerous spells. But the main danger that comes with this spell here, for example, so at the base level of casting this at 2nd level, we gain 2d8 psychic damages, which is pretty impressive, actually. So at 2nd level, we're already going to be doing essentially 2 longswords worth of damage. But with this, essentially, with us having an extra attack as the fighter, we're going to be able to, at 5th level fighter and at 4th level wizard, we're going to be able to go ahead and attack for 2d8 and attack again for 2d8, but then coming down to you know, the higher levels here, we're going to be doing at 7th level, we're going to do 5d8 damage and then 5d8 damage again, which is insane. Some sneak it, like a d6 in there for sneak attack. So that's a lot of damage output. That's 10d8 possibly each round plus a d6. And then not only that, you can even action surge, so you could do that again. 5d8, 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 so 28d8 within 1 round of combat, which is fucking insane. But yeah, so very, very nice, and thankfully it's only a bonus action to cast this, so you won't need to, like, action surge right off the bat to go ahead and get in there. So we also gain shield, which is beautiful, so we already have a pretty high AC, as I think you've seen at the beginning, but even more so now. So I'd recommend like at all costs that you hunt down the Shadow Blade spell, and you also hunt down the Shield spell. These are going to be your main go-tos. You know, I'm not going to get it too far into spells, this will take a long time. So for some gear, obviously at level 20, I'm going to assume you're going to have a +3 to whatever you're using, be it plate or half plate. I'm assuming I'm using the half plate with the medium armor master here, so once I equip that, I'm at 22 AC. I also have the defense, so you know, a lot of fucking AC just baseline there. I go ahead and equip a +3 shield, 27 AC. You go ahead and attune a ring of protection on you, 28 AC, get some bonus up there, These are things that, at level 20, it would be an investment to get these things, but it's completely viable and well worth it, especially for a 28 AC. And of course, if you don't happen to want to invest to get your intelligence up like I did here, eventually you might be able to find an Iron Stone of Intellect. This is just an example, or possibly a Tome of Clear Thought, and increase your intelligence otherwise. I recommend having at least maybe a rapier or something on the side. Nice default to have, that way if you run out of spells, you'll at least have a weapon to go about it. I really like this character, extremely tanky, a lot of potential damage output from both melee and from our range, because you're a 14 wizard. I'm sure you're gonna find Fireball at some point. But yeah, best of luck with your rolls. I hope you've enjoyed it, this build. I hope you've found something fun about it and can have a good time with it. So I don't know, consider subscribing and all that shit. Hopefully I start posting more often, but busy. Thank you again, and bye-bye.